Let's get right to that huge break in the search for missing Malaysian Flight 370, one of the biggest mysteries in aviation history. Vanished without a trace more than 500 days ago. Now the first clues. A brand new one coming in just moments ago reports that this suitcase was found near the wing fragment that washed ashore.
Flight 370 disappeared over the night sky back in March of last year. The search has covered more than 46,000 square miles. This is the last known location of the plane and the 239 people on board it. ABC's Bob Woodruff has been covering the story from the very beginning, and he joins us now. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Amy, from here in Beijing. You know, this has been big news here today. 153 of the passengers were Chinese. Families have been living with this tragedy for more than 16 months. Perhaps this mystery is starting to unravel. It's about 6 feet long, covered in barnacles and other marine life, a broken bit of wreckage that may hold answers to the mystery of what happened to Flight MH370. The debris was found on a beach on the French island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean, more than 3,500 miles from where Australia continues to lead the search for clues, and even farther from the last confirmed position of the plane near Malaysia.
It's quite feasible that wreckage could have travelled that distance in the 16 months since the aircraft presumably went into the water.
Aviation experts believe the part of the plane appears to be a flaperon, a component of the wing unique to a 777. Only 5 777s have crashed in history, and none in this part of the world. The flight took off with 239 aboard from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing, but disappeared from radar screens less than an hour later. The last communication with the plane when the Boeing 77 flew over the South China Sea. The final words from the cockpit: "Good night, Malaysian 370. A number on the wreckage, BB670, is expected to help investigators in the identification process. This number, most likely not a serial or registration number, but officials believe it could be a maintenance number. Back here in Beijing, even if this turns out to be a wing part from Flight 370, many relatives just wouldn't believe it. Ye Lun told me that any announcement by Malaysia Airlines would be a company conspiracy to cover everything up. Dai Shuqin lost her 5 family members, including her sister and grandson. If it's proven to be true, she says no matter what the officials say about the wing, it will be a lie. They've been doing the same thing since last year, she says. They just keep changing their explanation. Of course, not everyone believes in conspiracy here in China. Others do believe their friends or family members did not survive. They are just waiting for the facts to be confirmed so that they can finally get some closure. George.
Okay, Bob, thanks. Let's get more on this from our aviation expert, Stephen Ganyard. Stephen, what more could we know? We've seen, very few 777s have gone down. We have this number BB670. What does that tell us?
I think we're seeing some positive reports this morning, George, that suggest that this is a piece of a 777, and I think that given the paint and all the other extenuating circumstances, I think that we can probably say that this will be and will turn out to be a piece of Malaysia 370.
So what does that tell us about where the plane went down?
Unfortunately, not much. Remember that this piece has been out at sea adrift for 16 months, and if you look at the currents in the Indian Ocean, they really run in a counterclockwise formation, a countercircular formation. So it's taken that 16 months for these pieces to drift from where we think the airplane hit the water all the way back over to the other side of the Indian Ocean. So it's drifted for so long. There's probably no evidence on the piece itself that'll help us figure out why the airplane went down or where it sits at the bottom now.
So does it change the search area at all?
No, I don't think it will. It's drifted so far away. They've done forensics and the analysis that's pointing them at that part of the Indian Ocean that's off the Australian coast still remains the valid place where they're looking. George, I've met with these investigators 3 times over the past 6 months in Canberra. They today remain absolutely convinced that they will find the wreckage of MH370 on the bottom of the Indian Ocean.
After we get the first clue. Okay, Steve Ganyard, thanks very much.